ladies and gentlemen, I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to some Hold My Beer replays. And we have three amazing replays for you today. First up, we have the VK7201 driven by Lost and Forgotten. Now, the VK7201 is it's an underestimated tank, and a lot of people don't like playing this tank. However, it is such a strong tank. It's a really good tank when played correctly, and when played correctly, you're gonna bounce almost everything that comes your way. So Lost and Forgotten, he is driving it, and he's going to drive it really, really well. He does get unlucky, but also he does get pretty lucky on some of the shots. Like that one on the IS-7, as we know, is a troll tank, but he does get the bounce. But he's bounced 1020 damage already straight away within the first sort of 30 seconds of the game. So what he's going to do now, instead of going for this IS-7, he is backing up to get the VK. He does have to shoot heat into that bottom plate, and at the moment the Foch has just gone on a full sort of YOLO. He's lost almost all of his hit points, and Lost and Forgotten's just sitting, he's sitting still. He's going to be patient. He gets another bounce and another nice HE shot there into that waffle. And there goes the Foch. So what he's going to do now, I mean, he's got a juicy target. He's got a juicy target in the grill. He just needs to try and chase him. But the grill's not just going to sit there. He is going to run away. And as we know, the VK is not the quickest of tanks. But he's not all greedy. He's not all greedy. Instead of chasing him, he decides to get that shot in on the VK, which is a good thing. A lot of people would ignore the VK just to get that shot on the grill because they are greedy. They just want damage. They see a grill, oh, juicy HE, but he still manages to come back, and he does manage to get a lovely 1200 high roll into him. But his team are now vanishing. Fair play to this mouse. This mouse holds it very, very well, and without him, this would also be a loss. Waffle here doesn't see the VK72, but he does now, and he sends him back to the garage. Now, the IS-7 decides to ignore the VK and go for the IS-8 that is behind, which could be the wrong decision. Well, actually, it's not the wrong decision, because the IS-8 is low hit points. So he's going for the lower hit point tanks first. So he did the right thing. But now Lost and Forgotten has the Foch that is flanking behind, and he's going to push the Foch. The Foch has very, very troll armor. So he needs to get as close to this Foch as possible. We know that the Foch is pretty much OP with the auto-loader, but he's going to go and face hug, and he's already bounced now 2 shots from this Foch, and he's going to get a nice shot, putting him down to a one-shot any moment. Now, 43 hit points, and again, he's going to get close to this Foch. It is a 2 versus 4. 2 versus 4, and the mouse, as you can just look at the minimap, there we go. The mouse is holding them 3 tanks alone. He doesn't need help. He's doing really well, and I just had to cut that bit because he does kill the Foch, but I just got a text message, so I just had to cut that little bit. So the mouse is a one-shot. I mean, look at that. The mouse is a one-shot with 3 tanks all around him. There goes the VK. Lost and Forgotten can take out the IS-7, and it now just leaves this Conqueror. 6,500 damage already. He's done a great job, and he's on 4,300 damage, and he's going to get a lovely HE shot, and he's going to burn. And thanks to that, that just puts him over the 8,000 damage mark. 8,009 damage. Well played to the mouse there. He held it really, really well. So well played to the mouse, and well played to Lost and Forgotten. Next up, we have Qasim, and he is driving the WZ113. It's been a while since we've seen Qasim feature in these replays. We have seen him a few times before. He's OP, and this game is no different to anything else. So he is on Himmelsdorf, and he is pushing to the left side, and he's pushing quite aggressively. He's gone really far forward, but that's going to actually pay in his favor because he can use this little rock, this little hill in front of him. The WZ113 has great turret armor. It has an amazing turret armor, amazing DPM. It's the highest DPM heavy in the game, or at least in tier 10. And he's at the moment he's got 4 tanks in front of him, and not one of them are going to pen him. not one of them, until later on in the battle. So he is just going to sit here and he's going to farm some damage, and he's going to farm big damage. So he's doing great, but with the other tanks, he does have to use quite a bit of heat, especially into that Jagdtiger. And the best thing about him, I mean, if the mediums or the light tanks was to push behind, he would find himself in a sticky situation and he would have to move. But the best thing is his team are all with him. So because of where he is and where the team is, the medium tanks and the light tank on the enemy team can't really push or can't really come around, because there's a lot of tanks around this area, and these heavy tanks are now finding out the hard way. And this again is the difference between the HP buffs. There's a lot of hit points there up for grabs, and Qasim is just not getting challenged at all. He's not getting challenged, and that is his team. That's his team sitting all behind, and it's scaring the tanks in front. So there goes the E100. There's one tank down, and Qasim is now on 3,600 damage. He's now found the perfect opportunity to rush this Moishin. The Moishin's just shot, and it is the perfect opportunity because he's got no backup. He's got absolutely no backup whatsoever. Not the best tank. I mean, I like the tank, but it's not the best tank. And when you're coming up against a full hit point WZ with that with the DPM, and the WZ is very low to the ground, so when you get into these kind of positions where you're face hugging, it's very hard, because all this Moishin can see is the turret of this tank. And just like this, the Sheridan is going to do there. Lovely high roll, 5-2-5 into the Sheridan, and now the Sheridan's going to wish that he never come rushing in, because he does no damage. He comes rushing in and he literally does no damage. And Qasim is going to be able to take him out. Just a little clear, just a little HE shot there to clear, but he's now on 5,800 damage, and that is the first couple of shots he has taken, and he got literally wrecked there. He got wrecked and he lost a lot of hit points. He really needs to take care of this Jagdtiger. I mean, he is a one shot. He does take care of him because he does have really good DPM. Now, he's going to play it very risky here. He takes that shot. That was a nice shot from the T-57, and he is going to poke forward, but it was the wrong time to poke forward. I mean, he was willing to take that shot from the T-57 to take out that Jaegeru, which also keeps his ST-1 alive. So it is a 4 versus 2 now. He's on 6,400 damage. He's blocked 1,400 damage, but he didn't take any shots for the first few minutes of the game, and all of a sudden he lost all of his hit points at the same time. So he does need to be very careful here. There goes the ST to bring it now down to a 3 versus 2. That was a nice bounce there from the E50. The E50 has a damaged Amarak, so his reload is not going to be the best. And Qasim can just, I mean, he comes out sideways. Not the best play there from the E50 at all. And again, a nice 525 high roll. That puts his damage now up to 7,860. Now, I'm not sure even how he manages to get this kill on the T-57. No idea how, but he does, and that is 5 kills. And it now just leaves this E50. He's on 7,900 damage. He's going to want to get this kill. He's going to want to get the shot just to put him past the 8,000 mark. And of course, he is going to get it. So 1,700 block damage. He ends on 6 kills and 8,236 damage. 1,974 base XP. So well played, Qasim. Thank you for sending me that in. Next up, we have by Azrael, and he is driving the IS-4 on Canal. And he's looked at the lineups, and he's going towards the right side with the mediums. Just watch the mediums on it. I mean, they get obliterated. They literally get destroyed very early on. So he is a heavy, and I hate coming this way in a heavy because it just takes too long. It does take too long, and by the time you get there, just like, I mean, look at this. That T-54E1 is just got wrecked. He's just got absolutely wrecked, and he's almost dead before anyone, at least the heavies, can be there to support him. And just look, his team are, I mean, these medium tanks and the light tank is just getting absolutely destroyed. So he's going to get that shot there. I mean, goodbye, T92. He got wrecked. Both got wrecked at the same time, and the grill. That was a lovely shot. That was an absolutely lovely shot. No idea what this Type 61 is doing now. Like, dude, what are you doing? What was that all about? The T54E1 is also a one shot. So as soon as he gets there, he does manage to get a couple of shots. But there goes all of his quick tanks. And now he finds himself all alone against all of these tanks. But if you look at the minimap, there is a heavy, the IS-7, that is flanking around. So he does need to be careful that he doesn't come up and get a few shots behind. But he does have a couple of TDs supporting him. So this is the best position for him, because if these guys start pushing the IS-4, then the TDs can get the nice shot. And we already know that the grill is there supporting, because he got that lovely shot into that missile tank. Now, the best thing about the IS-4 is I still think the IS-4 is OP. It's always been OP, and I think it always will be OP. The armor is just fantastic. The DPM is actually really good, and it's just a very enjoyable tank. And this is why I've said in my last video about the tank and the IS-7, in my honest opinion, there's no point buying an IS-7 if you own an IS-4, because this tank is just better in every single way. So here comes the grill, and the grill actually does a really good job. The grill, I applaud the grill. I applaud the grill, and he stays alive longer than I expected. Now, the best thing, because the grill is now with him, Bayaz Rail can just farm some damage, because these guys don't want to shoot an IS-4 and potentially bounce when there is a grill there that they can just farm HE on. But they did not want to shoot the IS-4 at all until they need to. So Bayaz Rail is just pushing it. I mean, look, he's pushed the T59, the T92E1 down. He's pushed the T54 down. They should have just ignored the IS-4 and gone for the grill. Instead of backing up, they do manage to clear the grill, but by then it is just too late. They should have ignored the IS-4 from the start to take care of the grill, but they didn't. They got scared, they backed up, and they paid the price. And now Bayaz Rail is going to play this just absolutely fantastic. He's ignoring the IS-8. He knows that the IS-8 is not the most dangerous of targets. The IS-7, clearly, being a tier 10, having that armor, is way more dangerous than the IS-8. So he's totally ignoring. He has to ignore one of them. He has to. And he's choosing to ignore the IS-8. So he is going to clear that IS-7, and now he can use the armor. Now he can face the IS-8, who is still pretty much full hit points. Now that's 6,200 damage, now 6,800 damage, and he needs to bounce shots. Of course, he has to bounce shots. He's got no AP left. He only has heat. So the IS-8 is, I mean, he's struggling. He's not even going to pen the IS-4 anymore. So Bayaz Rail, 7,200 damage, 7,500 damage. He's now blocked 3,900 damage. Still 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time, and he still has 5 heat rounds. It's only going to take 2 rounds. Unless he can high roll here, it's still going to take him 2 shots. But he still needs to be careful, because that is a Russian tank, and the IS-8 armor, especially when you're shooting heat at it, is very, very troll. But Bayaz Rail, he's a great player. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he can clear him. 4,300 block damage, and he ends on 8,200 damage. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all very soon. Bye-bye. With